Good morning.
Good morning.
A few weeks ago, when I announced that we were opening up Roberto Clemente Park, I said that we would look into some parks in the 4th Ward, and I spoke to our Councilwoman and former Mayor Ruby Cotton. And how we determine our decisions, Akbar, is based on the metrics that we're seeing. So we measure the data. And this past Sunday, we had 3 confirmed COVID-19 cases. That's the lowest that we've had since the beginning of this pandemic in March.
Okay.
So based on that, we've made the decision that we will be reopening Barbour Park, a park which is a shining example of what a community can do when a community shows that it cares and take the park over for positive programming, particularly for children. Right, Coach?
Yes, sir.
Look at his shirt. Everybody versus racism. # Black Lives Matter. Where's my shirt?
I got it.
He got mine. Large. So I am proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with community leaders, with Councilwoman Cotton, Councilwoman Mims, to say that we're not only opening up Barbour Park in the 4th Ward, we're going to open up Montgomery Park in the 4th Ward as well. But there are guidelines, obviously. We're going to ask everyone to make sure they have face coverings, try their best to physically distance themselves, and obviously, if possible, sanitize hands as much as possible. And clearly, we've made a conscious decision based on what we've seen with the number of cases significantly in Paterson being reduced to open up this park. And I wanted to do it right before Father's Day. It is very important that we send a message to our community, that we value parents in our community, and that we need fathers now more than ever. As a fellow father, we all have to step up. We have a role to play in this city. Right, Kelly? Yes, we do. So for Father's Day, I'm expecting a robust program to take place this weekend, and I will be participating. And from what I'm hearing, Commissioner, we'll have some books for the children to promote literacy. So at this time, I want to have our Councilwoman from the 4th Ward, Ruby Cotton, address everyone relative to the park reopenings.
Thank you, Mayor. Let me say good morning to everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, this is exciting. You know, going through the pandemic that we have, and we're still going through it. And I find that we need to try to be as happy as we possibly can be and help each other to be happy. Somewhat, and I find that, and the mayor know I had called him about the parks. When can we open them back up for the kids, there's children out there that really wanted to come into the park, even they cannot play on the equipment, but at least be able to sit and talk and read books and so forth. So I'm happy today that we are opening up Barbour Park, and this park would have never been made possible if it wasn't for, I just feel emotional today, you know, if it wasn't for the community. People think that an elected official can do everything by themselves, and they find that they can't, that they need community support all the time. It is not about bashing and hurting. It's about, well, what we gonna do? We're gonna put boots on the ground. We're gonna put our hands to work. We're gonna put our souls to work. And for all my community people that came here, and we took this park back, and everyone know what it looked like. And I say, we gotta come out of our homes and come back into our community and let our community know we're not letting you take over our community. We're gonna take it over ourselves. You're gonna do the right thing. You're gonna make sure. And I gotta say that with so many community members here with me, and I wanna say my heart's to Hannah, my Kids for Fun, my Victoria. Is it Kids for Fun? Creative Kids. My Patterson Kids with the Greer family, you know, my Dr. Lisa Mims, who know I sat in here to wait for them to come in to do what they needed to do to get this park together. For my Lady Royals, who comes here all the time with the kids, and they exercise, they work out. To my Ceasefire, who comes in here to help. And it's about, and we have Bilal Power, it's called Power Coalition, that, you know, he makes sure he comes in here, he looks at it, he takes kids, see what needs to be done. That's what it's about. You know, sometimes we can't wait for government to do everything for us. We got to like step up and say, this is what we're going to do to take back what we need to take back. We got to step in and say, yes, it could be done. And you can see this is a prime example of what we've done for Barbour Park. and it is just gorgeous. It's gorgeous. You come in here, you feel so good just to sit down and to relax, and it gives you that spirit that we need to have. You know, that spirit. I have my humble beginning gentleman here, you know, who always out there in the community, and I don't want to forget anyone here that's so important, and you know, and my St. Luke's Baptist Church here next door. Thank you. Right, that's what I said too. We and my DPW guys always come in here to help us to do this, but you know, this park you know, it should be shined nationally. Don't you think so, Mayor?
Yes, I said that.
That what it was and what it is now, people all over the country can say that it can be done, and it can be done, because we can do anything and we can do all things together. And Mayor, thank you. And I've been getting calls about the park opening, and I know I called the mayor. I said, Mayor, I'm getting so many calls. We got to figure out a way on how we can get this done again. And it's a good example of right before Father's Day, to say to fathers, you know, come into the park with your children. The park is open for you to come in with your children. So, Mayor, thank you so very much. My community, this would not have been possible without you guys. And I just want to say it's so important that we stay together, we work together, and when we see something need done, we're going to all jump in there. And sometimes maybe smack them. But no, but we're going to jump in there. We're going to do what we need to do to get everything done. But I thank you, everyone, for being part of my life. And I thank God every day for bringing people around me who wants to help. And that's what it's about. And I thank God for that, for bringing people around me. So, Mayor, thank you so very much for everybody that came out to help. This is such a wonderful day. I thank you all. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruby. Be careful. She can smack really hard. And since we're going to have a Father's Day program here, I think it's fitting that we do it on an annual basis, and we do it in memory of Ed Cotton. Because Ed Cotton was not only a father, but he was a father figure to people like myself, like Akbar McIntyre, who was quite the boxer in his day. So, yeah, and Ed didn't smack. I think he punched, right? He used to punch. Yes, Bilal Hakim was a middle. Are you still a middleweight, Bilal? Okay, you're not a middleweight anymore. I just want to be sure there. Who said? Somebody said super heavyweight. That's okay. He's super then. Just be super right there. At this time, I want to call forward our councilwoman, who's also an advocate for parks, who went to Chattanooga, Tennessee, so that Paterson can prioritize parks, and this is obviously a priority, and that's Councilwoman Lisa Mims.
All right, thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Mayor, to our councilwoman, to all of our organizations that are here. I'm going to be very short and brief. There's 4 C's to anything that succeeds. First, there has to be a cause. This park was in disarray. It was taken over by drug addicts, drug dealers, and I've labeled this park and named it the Transformer Park. People from the community like Victoria, Nancy Greer, Kelly, Councilwoman Mims, G. Greer, Bilal, so many, Boogie, so many people came together, and there was a consideration. What do? Do we let the park stay the way it is, or do we do something about it? That's when collaboration took place. They said, we're taking the park back. There was a cause, the park was in disarray. There was a consideration, what shall we do? They collaborated, and the conclusion was transform the park. God bless you. We're grateful for the opening. Let's keep working on 4 C's all over the city of Paterson, because Paterson is the city on the rise. God bless you, and God bless the great city of Paterson.
Thank you, Councilwoman. We'll see you on Sunday. We enjoy your preaching. Lady Royals, thanks for joining us. Coach Charles Adams. I'll get my shirt later.
Yes, sir.
We're also announcing that Westside Park will be open in the 2nd Ward, and Eastside Park will be open to vehicles.
Oh, good.
Yes, so that'll happen now. Much to my chagrin at first, but obviously some residents were saying that people were parking in front of their homes when they shouldn't have, and we had to do a little extra enforcement as far as illegal parking was concerned. Is that Mr. Cook from St. Luke's?
Yes.
Oh, you look good. You look fine.
East 26.
Yes, East 26, that's right. This time I want to call forward a spokesperson for the actual park from Heart of Hannah. You know her as Kelly Moss Brown. Come on over.
Thank you, Kelly. Come on.
Good afternoon. When we think of Barbour Park, just think of collaboration and strength. And I just want to encourage people, don't give up on your community. No one team did it. We were a team working together collectively. It wasn't one person. The community counted on the city, and the city counted on the community. And the beautiful thing about Barbour Park, we sat out here, we had discussions, and we did not wait on the government. We came together, we got together, and a little makes much, right? If I bring the paper plates, you bring the hot dog, somebody else bring the broom, somebody else bring the garbage bags, then we got something going. So don't wait, get up. If your street dirty, get up, just start cleaning it. If your park is dirty, just get up and start cleaning it. And our model here at Barbour Park became, if they could do it in Montclair, if they could do it in Bloomfield, if they could have yoga, if they could have prayer circles, if their kids could play on their equipment, why can't ours? So it was just a collective mind, and I'm so glad that God allowed me to be a part of something strong, something beautiful, something as transformative as Barbour Park. So just don't give up on your city and your community.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you,
Thank
Kelly.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, we're here.
Let's get her. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to dovetail on what Kelly Moss Brown said, that very often we've heard that it takes a village,
Yeah.
but it also takes a vision. So when you have a village with a vision,
Yeah.
this is what happens. Something that could be beneficial to our community for generations to come. So at this time, if Victoria or Kendall would like to share a few words,
Yes.
the mic is yours.
Yep.
Good afternoon. The new Barbour Park.
The new. Oh.
We know what took place here, and we didn't focus on what was taking place here. We put the focus on what needed to be done.
Yeah.
And as previously mentioned, there were many players in this. It first started with a needle epidemic. Needles were all over the community, and this was a great source of debauchery going on up in this park.
Yeah.
And we decided to say enough. One day I was in here, and children ran in here, and people who were doing illicit activity in the park told them, "Get out of here. This is not for kids." And then I turned around and I looked, I said, contrary to popular belief, this is a park for children. And then that, began the collaborative effort between ourselves, our city officials. One of the greatest things that could have ever been done to this park was this fence.
Yep.
Because it keeps a protective barrier. It says, stay out. You're welcome. Your illicit activity is not. I thank the city for that. We have water, we have electricity, we have a fully operating park.
Yeah.
We have flowers. The animals have returned back to the park. Butterflies, the squirrels. It's a park.
Yeah.
If you take a look at this building right here, there are children that live in that apartment for years who couldn't come into the park. And now they've begun to come out of the houses and come into the park. So again, it's a community park. It was a community effort. I thank this community as well as the city. And there's other parks that need to be done. So if see something, say something, do something. Thank
I
you.
like that one. That's it. Oh.
And that is true. There are parks that need improvement. Last week we announced that Brandy's Field was going to be improved. This Thursday we'll be announcing the new basketball court and handball court at Buckley. So we are doubling down on the parks in Paterson. And I want to thank all the organizations that are part of this. The Lady Royals, Paterson Cares, Humble Beginnings. I also saw Heart of Hannah, St. Luke. Creative Kids. Oh, we have Ernest Rucker. Save the Village. There you go. I saw him. I can recognize him with that mask on. So here we go. A shining example of what can happen when a community rises up, a vision, a village, and taking back a community asset and turning it into something positive. Thanks for joining us.